But we've got to get to Queensland now. It's been 35 years, would you believe, since an active cyclone crossed the coast of southeast Queensland. The latest modelling suggests that Cyclone Alfred could well be about to do that. Category 2 at this stage. Queensland Premier David Crisafulli. He joins us from Brizzy now. Premier, good to have you with us. Thank you. What's the warning, the latest info that you've got? Is it going to hit?
Yeah, good morning, Peter. Yeah, it did intensify to a Category 2 overnight, and the modelling is firming to show from the Bureau that it is most likely to cross the coast somewhere in the middle to the second half of this week. So, yeah, you're right, and it is something that rarely happens, but it's not unprecedented, and there's been 3 cyclones in the last 70 years that have either crossed the coast in the southern part or come very, very close to it. So it can happen. What we want from Queenslanders is to just be ready. So we're doing our bit. We're preparing to make sure, and we're getting this messaging out early. We just want Queenslanders to do the same. And
sure.
We are a resilient state. We handle disasters well, and we just want people to be ready and absorb the messaging. Yeah,
so presumably, look, it's at the lower end of the scale, but still, I mean, it still brings with it a lot of rain and strong winds too. What troubles you most, Premier?
Well, 3 elements. The first is the coastal erosion, and we have seen a bit of that already. There's been some reasonable damage on, for example, Great Keppel Island. We've seen the Bribie Island, that Pumice-Stone Passage area outside Caloundra, where the water's starting to break through. We had reports of waves in the order of about 15 metres off the coast of Wide Bay. So that coastal erosion is the immediate one. And then you're right, it's then the damaging winds. Now, at the moment, it's a Category 2 that will bring with it some challenges, but the big one is water. And if you look at the history of these events, it's always on the southern part of the system. And when you're talking about several hundred millimetres in a short period of time, in catchments that are already reasonably well soaked, that does provide some complexities, and what we're saying to Queenslanders is we will give you the information as it comes to hand. We'll give it as cleanly and as clearly as possible. We just want people to know that they do have to respond, and they do have to do everything you can to stay connected, but also do the little things around your house and get your house in order. And I can assure you we're doing the same with ours at a state level. So
you've got AFL, NRL, the season is about to commence. What happens with those games this weekend? Would you suggest they've been moved, or are you just saying, you know, keep your powder dry at this stage, if you can?
We will give the information to them, and I've already started some of those conversations with the CEOs. What we do is we give people information clearly and cleanly, and I have every faith that they can make the right call. Now, in the end, it's Monday at the moment. They are in the second half of the week. The modelling is showing that it is firming, and I'm sure they will absorb that information and make a decision. Now, for us, our priority now is to make sure that we can do things like we already start pre-positioning generators on some of those islands. I had a meeting yesterday with the telco providers, and I've asked those telecommunication providers to uplift their capacity, because we may need to get out a lot of messages in a short period of time. Now, at the moment, Peter, that warning zone is from Bundaberg to south of the border. Now, yes, it's a large geographical area that will firm up in the days ahead, but you're dealing with a really highly populated part of the state. That brings another level of complexity. So we're just asking people, stay connected, either go to our disaster.qld website, go to the Bureau's website, talk to your neighbours, just make sure that you're aware of it, and we will continue to give the messaging. And I have every faith that people will be able to handle it and get through it. I've seen the way that the southeast has responded to flooding over the years. We're a resilient state. Yes, this is a different level of complexity, because there was also the chance of damaging winds. But in the end, if people listen to warnings, and if we all do our little bit, human life and preservation of it is first and foremost. And I've got every faith that people will absorb that messaging if we can just continue to deliver it clearly.
All right, good one. That's the Queensland Premier David Crisafulli coming to us live from Brisbane. Premier, thank you so much.